Green. So yeah, good morning, everybody. My name is Denise O'Gorman from Remedy Credit Control Solutions based here in Cork City. I wanted to speak to you today and ask yourselves, is your business being treated as a bank? So there's a big risk in offering credit to other businesses or customers because a lot of the time they don't pay you back and you're in effect acting as a bank, giving out a loan or money. So many businesses extend credit to customers without realizing what they're doing. There's a lot of businesses in trouble out there, and they will use you to get credit for supplies and stock products, so they can resell or create something to sell on, and they're not paying you when they're getting paid. So the key question is to ask yourself, are you financing your customers without getting any rewards? So first of all, I want to explain what trade credit is. So this is allowing your customers to buy now and pay later. So a lot of the times you're offering terms of 30, 60, or even 90 days. And I'm getting a lot of reports that people are extending their credit terms without consulting the business owner. They haven't rearranged any of their agreements or anything like that. They're just taking liberties and taking 90 days or more to pay them back. So in reality, you then become the lender. Once you start not recovering your money, you're giving the money out and you don't have any cash flow yourself because nobody's paying you. So, and you're taking the same risk as any bank, but you don't have the protections of, we'll say, charging interest, or you don't have any leverage really to get that money back off them unless you were to take your products back or any of your supplies. You were to go to retrieve them, which also costs you more money and labor hours. So this will have a very big impact on your cash flow and working capital because you then have no money in your business coming in as an income. So there are hidden costs of credit. It's all very nice to say, I'll give my customers credit, I'm very good to them, but delayed payments equal delayed growth. So you can't grow and expand your business without this money. And there's a cost to funding overdue invoices. This is like labor hours, chasing up the debt, having to get paperwork. It takes hours and hours to chase people up for money. So there's also a risk of you going into bad debt. Now, this is called the domino effect. So when your customers pay you late or your clients, you then struggle to pay your suppliers. So you may have to borrow from the bank yourself or, use your overdraft more regularly than you are. This is going to cost you because you're going to get charged interest there and you're going to get charged fees, etc. Also, there is the stress and anxiety involved with your business. You're worried you're not getting your money in. When is it going to come in? So it's putting a stress on everybody. Your employees are going to be stressed as well because they don't know if they're going to get paid at the end of the month. Sometimes it can get that bad. So I've done a little table here to show you the way the banks kind of secure themselves with all of these things, and businesses a lot of the time, they don't do the credit checks, for example. The credit check is really vital when you take on a new client or customer, is to credit check them. You need to know who you're dealing with, what kind of history they have in business. Do they have any bad debts? Do they owe a lot of money around? You need to know this. So the credit check is really vital when you're starting to onboard a customer. Now, there is an option in Ireland to charge interest on overdue invoices, but nobody ever really uses it. I've never seen it used. It is there, but nobody uses it. The other one you would hear of is offering a discount to somebody who will pay you early. That's more common to hear of that. So your business has no collateral with any of these agreements. You can't, unless you want to go and take your stock back, that's about all you have. The bank, they require for loans, especially the larger ones, they want to know what property you have, if you have a car, what money you have around. They're covered themselves everywhere to all this risk. So risk control with a business is always very low, and a bank, it'll be high because they know what they're doing. They're lending all the time. So my solution, and it's what I do a lot of the time in my own business when I do consultancies with other businesses, is to explain to them that they need to be thinking more like a bank than like they're dealing with their friend, which is what happens a lot of the time. Because people build relationships with each other and they give out credit on the back of that. So you need to set your clear payment terms. You need to have a good contract done, signed by both parties to make sure that you have leverage when they fall behind. You're able to say, you signed this and you agreed with me, you know, that you were going to pay within 30 days or 90 days. You need to credit check all your new customers. You know, you need to check and see what kind of background they have. Because I've had a lot of cases where I've gone and checked somebody and they've had such a bad history. I mean, you'd never give them any credit. Never in the wild world would you give it to them. So you also need to have a strong credit control system in place to make sure that you're monitoring week on week, you're making those calls, you're chasing that money, you're getting people into a good habit of paying you on time. So if you get, for example, one of these credit checks and you vet them and it's coming up as a really bad red flag, those, it's not to say that you can't do business with them, you can, but you need to get a deposit or a full payment upfront or cash on delivery. You know, you need to have been paid as soon as before you even supply a service or a product or anything, you need to get that money up front. So as I said before, you can also offer early payment discounts to some. And for, let's say, service industries, subscription models or retainers, because for the service, you can take a service back once you've given it out. You know, it's not like you can go and get your products back or anything or your equipment. Once it's done, it's done. So they need to pay you up front. So what I do, as you know, is I'm a professional credit controller and credit control manager. And I know there's a lot of people in trouble out there, and I've had a lot of calls coming through. So the best thing, if you find yourself, your debtor's ledger is getting out of control, you need advice, you need to know how to do things better going forward, is to come to the likes of me. This will allow, I do the chasing myself. I do all the work myself in my own business. So I will chase whatever you're owed, get that in, and I will train your staff and yourself going forward on what to put better practices in place and procedures so that you don't find your business in a bad situation again. This will also save time and reduce you stress. So if you do nothing at all and you leave your ledger, you know, thinking it's going to sort itself out one day, because it's not. Because people, you know, if you leave your debt for long enough, that they're just going to say you didn't chase me, and so I've forgotten about it. I'm not going to pay you now. So 1 in 5 business failures is due to poor credit management, and you must remember that cash flow is the lifeblood of your business. So the longer you wait, the harder it is to recover money that's owed to you. So as I said, I work with various different businesses and various industries, and there's so many struggling at the moment. And it's, if you saw some of the stuff I see, they've let it go so bad. You know, it's very difficult now to put them back on track. So what you need to do is get professional advice or consultancy earlier on when you start seeing this happening. Outcome there would be faster payments will equal better cash flow for your business and less stress. The key takeaways for today are, if you offer credit, you're actually acting as a bank and people are treating you as a bank, and they're not paying you because you don't have any penalties. You know, you're not penalizing them for not paying you. So they're just going to leave it go for as long as they can. This will now then hurt your cash flow and your growth. So strong credit control is essential. You need someone who's determined and they're sticking with it, and they're sticking with their procedures the whole time. So you can consider outsourcing for faster results. If you found yourself you've gone down the wrong road and you're owed a vast amount of money, you really need to get help from somebody who knows what they're doing. So there's my call to action. If you're tired of chasing payments, you find it's not working, you need to seek advice. So I'm here. My business name is Remedy Credit Control Solutions. And there's the details of my website there. And I also have a mobile number. There we go. So that's the end of my presentation. If you have any questions, please ask me.
Thank you very much, Denise. That was a very, very good presentation. And just on a personal note,